As a US citizen, I could still be a target for an ICE raid, and you can too. I'm Lorena, and I've spent the last few days fighting for something I never thought I would lose, which is proof of my citizenship. I was born on an American military base in Italy as an American citizen, and I've lived in the US since I was 4 years old. I've worked, paid taxes, and followed every rule. Yet I find myself stuck in an endless loop of red tape that has left me honestly scared, vulnerable, and questioning how this country, our country, treats its people. So, the simple issue that brought me here, I have my birth certificate, but it's a photocopy. I have a passport, but it's expired. I have a copy of my social security card, but not the original. So it was lost in a move. But these circumstances have caused an alarm. And I've been told to avoid any government agency, whether that be the DMV, courthouse, post office, etc., as I don't have valid proof of citizenship and I'm at risk. Like, what? Doesn't even make sense to me. In the last week, I've called over 27 agencies, attorneys, organizations for immigration and disability rights. I'm disabled. All of them are overwhelmed and inundated because of what's taken place since January 20th. And we're January 28th, not that many days. They're inundated with people just like me, citizens, legal immigrants, and vulnerable individuals who are being swept up into fear-driven systems that prioritize aggression over humanity. So here's the thing. This isn't about politics. It's about people. It's about humanity. We all agree there are serious issues that we all need to address. No one wants criminals or human traffickers crossing our US borders. But what's happening right now isn't the solution. It's fear mongering, targeting the innocent alongside the guilty, and using aggressive tactics that harm legal citizens. So, the core of my fear lies in what I'm being asked to do, and that's to take my only legal document. I have proof of my citizenship, which is my expired passport, and mail it in. Once that document is out of my hands, so I'm left completely vulnerable with no way to prove who I am as a US citizen. And I've told once that's mailed in, this process could take several months. I mean, longer than in historic times because of the climate we're in. So during that time, I have no legal proof of my identity, my status, which leaves me susceptible and even, being questioned about my right to be here. This is terrifying for me. It really is. Well, I know I'm legal and I know this will work out in the end. I know all of that. But what terrifies me is how I could be treated in the meantime. I've already told you I'm disabled and I'm constant pain 24/7. And I rarely leave the house because that makes things more painful. But what if I were being driven to a doctor's appointment and we got pulled over for just a routine traffic stop and I couldn't prove my citizenship? The thought of being detained, even for 3 hours or, God forbid, an entire day, is terrifying to me. I can't imagine that they would accommodate my medical needs. I can't. I don't trust it. I've seen things and it just feels vulnerable. It's hard to put into words how deeply this would impact me. And yet I know my story is one small part of a much bigger issue. My story is nothing compared to others. If this can happen to me, a white, educated, legal US citizen, what do you think is happening to others? What about the people who don't speak English fluently, don't have decades of tax records, or don't look like me? What about the people of color, immigrants, and refugees who are already navigating biases and barriers, but are legal. This is a humanitarian issue. Innocent people are being swept into a climate of fear driven by an agenda that values optics over outcomes. It's not solving the core issues, and it's breaking down trust in our institutions. The worst part is we all want the same thing: safety, fairness, and order. But the path we're on isn't achieving that. Instead, it's really just tearing apart the very foundation of what this country is meant to stand for, which is compassion and justice. I want to emphasize something. Throughout this experience, I've been feeling completely isolated, alone, and unsupported, and really just scared. People assume because of the work I do as a coach and the tools that I've personally developed that I have it all figured out. I get dismissive messages like, oh, you'll be fine. You know how to handle this. But not one person has called me to say, hey, let's talk through this. I'm here for you. The truth is, I do have the tools to navigate this, and I will come out stronger on the other side. I have no question and no doubt about that. But I know many people won't. For those already carrying childhood trauma or struggling with overwhelming life challenges, adding this kind of fear can be triggering. So my heart goes out to them. And if you, by the way, know anyone who might be in a similar situation, please consider reaching out to them, offer them your support, even if it's just a listening ear. This kind of experience is hard enough, but it's also so much worse when you feel completely alone. I know I'll be met with opposing views, and I welcome a respectful discussion. What I do not welcome is hate or aggressive responses to this message. If you feel called to engage, all I ask is that you do it in a way that aligns with the respect and empathy for everyone. This video was very, very difficult for me to do, as I know it's a polarizing topic. But I know there are others who are quietly terrified, as I am. If you've experienced something similar, please reach out to someone and just talk to them about it, or DM me. Feel free to do that. And by the way, in the coming weeks, I'll be sharing free content to help all of us navigate and process everything happening around us. So stay tuned for that. But give me a moment to process what's happening here for me. And because when I'm ready to provide that free content, I really want it to be energized. And I need to get to that place of calm first. So as always, make the rest of your life the best of your life. Ciao for now.